Hey, Kajaria. Hey, Phoenix. Love you right back. Love you right back. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry I was sitting there writing some stuff. But I wanted to come on and talk to you all. Thank you again, Phoenix. Thank you very much. Um I wanted to come on and talk because hey Tammy. Hi. Hello, my sweet son. I hope you've had an amazing day. Love you from Georgia. Tammy, I wish I could say to you like I had an amazing day. Like nothing is like went off, but I'm definitely feeling some stuff on the inside. Hey, Corinne. Yes, y'all do what Corinne say. Y'all please hit the like button for me. I made me a strawberry smoothie. Good for you, girl. um, I definitely came on to talk to y'all about some things. And I literally thought about doing like the story time like I used to do back when I first started coming on here today. But then I was like, nah, I want somebody to talk back to me when I don't know how many of you all seen um the last short that I made or whatever. I haven't been able to get out of that head space. Like you don't, like ain't nothing happened to make you think about a situation that you in or whatever. It's just your thoughts before like it's bedtime or whatever. And y'all know I tell y'all like if I go to bed with something and it keep me up at nighttime or whatever, I'm gonna come on and talk about it. Well, um, that last short that I made kept me up until not the short itself, but the conversation around it kept me up all till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, and so today I'm just like trying to come through. And I don't want to shed no tears or no nothing about it, but if they fall, they just fall. It is what it is because I can already hear it in my voice. So, you all know, anyways, that I have tomorrow is chemo day. And I shouldn't, I, the last thing should be on my mind is anything outside of that is like, what's more that you going through in your life than cancer. You facing cancer, but it's so many other things that's on the forefront. And I'm not really like sad for the situation, like like somebody would be, because here I am. I'm once again. I'm talking about my marriage. I'm not sad about it in the way that somebody would think I would be sad about it, but do you know what it's like to be in a situation and then you not know what situation you in, and then you find out you're in that situation and that situation has a name for it, and you like, nah, that can't be me. That can't be me. Well, this is how I feel about this situation. So, um, for a minute, well, those of y'all know I've been married almost 30 years. So, you have your good times and you have your bad times, but I definitely felt like in my marriage, like I had some good days, but then when I go back and look on it, I feel like my husband was mean to me. Good on some days, but mean on other days. And it's like, and first of all, I will say anybody that's been down the road that I have been down, been through the things that I have been through as a child, um, and you weren't protected, there's just some things in your life you're not going to know how to do them, or you wouldn't react to them the way other people react to them because it's what you're used to. Um, and so me coming from where I come from is like you see it and you don't really have you didn't grow up around like a husband and wife to know how things should be going. You know how in a fairy tale land how you want something to go, but is that necessarily how it goes? You know, oh, don't cry. You're going to make me cry. Oh, well, you probably gonna cry through this. They did the good outweigh the bad? Korean, good question because this is what I'll say to it. There are things like a question would be presented to me, but so that I wouldn't have to put up with nobody's attitude or making for a bad time. It was like I would just kind of like go with the flow of whatever. So basically, by default, I would. Hopefully, I'm making sense. If I don't make no sense, tell me you don't understand. It's like, but I would make decisions based off of how I thought it would make him feel. Which, can I say that that's his fault? Not really. That's circumstances in life taught me that. So and I'm trying not to be like every single thing is on him because there are some decisions that I made um that I didn't have to, but it's like to make him happy. That's how I did it. So, you know, um, I can. I think at a certain point in my marriage, I wrapped myself so tight around my kids and doing things with my kids. It was kind of like something to block things off. But here recently, it's like everything is flooding back to me, and I guess that's because I have a lot of time to myself. And it's like reflecting back on those things. But I'll tell you, one of the things was my sister, Shalissa, that's me, was going through a lot of stuff with her guy. And imagine I'm sitting there talking to her, trying to help talk her through different situations, but at the same time, I'm trying to help talk her through situations. It's like stinging me at the same time, is basically what happened. So with her situation, she starts to dig a little bit more and find out. And then as she finds out, um, that the person she's dating is a narcissist. And it just kept going on and on and on about a narcissist. But as everything she began to explain, it just kept stinging me. Kept stinging me. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna put that on him. I don't wanna put that on him. But then you kept going along, and the more instances she was bringing up, the more it was pointing to that I was married to a narcissist myself. Now, um, I go back and say, well, how could this be? Because before I got married, I prayed and I asked God, I was like, Lord, if this man ain't for me, move him out of my life. And when I tell you that I meant that with everything in me, I prayed it over and over again. So it's just like, did I make a mistake? So the other night, like I was flipping through YouTube and I saw that this lady on here, I can't remember what her name was, but she was flipping through and she said, don't. The title of her video that I found at about 3 o'clock in the morning was basically it was like, don't think that you made a mistake because you ended up marrying a narcissist. It was, there was a purpose in it. And so I turned it on and I played it, and I trying to fall asleep on it or whatever. But anyways, I'm going back to this point. But I did listen to what she said, and I need to go back and listen to the video again, because now it's just like I'm questioning everything. I mean, from the point where I had left and went to Georgia for a while, and then I came back. When I came back, I tried to come back to the house, and then I was talking, and I don't know, y'all know Miss Coffee, that used to be over here. She is one of my moderators too. But Miss Coffee was like, "Why would you come back when I came back? I thought maybe because of the break that we had in what we had, that things would go get a little bit better, because now I'm giving a response and showing him that I don't like the way that he treat me or he talked to me or whatever." And to be honest with you, when I left and then I came back, the only response that I ended up getting, um, and I done told y'all a couple of times, some of the stuff that he said in previous videos or whatever. But it's never been like an apology or no nothing like that. It's always a situation where it's like it's flipped on you, to where like, I can't believe you left. But you expect to speak to me in the way that you speak to me, and then there is no response to it. So that's what I would kind of get. So I remember us one time we were at a graduation, and we was going up the stairs, and we were going up the stairs to go into the graduation, and my sister's boyfriend was there, and her foot was broken. And I just thought it would be so crazy that while she was walking up the stairs, he didn't give her any support as to going up the stairs. I won't say what it was that he said to her while we were going up there. I will leave that to her, because she didn't give me permission to say that. But I know she be sharing her stories. Again, that's Shalissa. That's me. She share her stories on here. But we was going up the stairs, and he did not support her going up the stairs. And so I spotted her as she walked up the stairs to, walk behind her or whatever. And when we got inside of the graduation and we kind of sat there, a tear fell out of her eye, which made me sad. Um, and I understood it. But what came to me is I was irritated with him about that, but we in the place, and this is not the place to like say anything about it. But what happened with was for me is it took me to a place of, Shauna, you've been in this spot before too. And I went to thinking about it, is that um a while back, um there was a point in my life where it was like I had three miscarriages back to back. And each time that I would make it to 4 months, and then the pregnancy would just terminate itself. Um and with each time it seemed like my husband had company over when these times would come. And I can remember all three times him taking me to the emergency room, dropping me off, not even walking me on the inside. Uh and the response to me was, call me when you call me when you finish. To go back and hang in the yard with um who was ever there hanging in the yard with him. And that happened three times. But So it made me start thinking about things. And then if I would come home and I would be sad about it or whatever, the response to me would almost be like, the response to me from him would almost be like, what the hell you so down for about it? You got other kids. It's kind of, I ain't saying in those specific words that that's what was said to me, but it's like that's the vibe or the feeling that you got from it. Um yeah, it's just so crazy. And why is it coming up right now? Because I don't understand like why it's coming up. And the reason I decided to talk about it was because I can see up under the comments that one person said that knowing what it is only half the battle. And so it's like I feel like because I know what it is, and I already know what I've been through, but I'm on it. To me it's like, why is this coming up and why is it still so hurtful right now when I've already told y'all the place that I'm in. We're not together. Um Nobody gets married for it to not work out. You want it to work out. I'm in a place right now, it's just like I, and I've said this to you all before, that I feel like I'm like 5% away from, I'm like 5% away from hate. That's how close I am. Um so it's like, and I'll tell you one of the reasons that it keeps coming up is like now, like there's almost like a barrier in between us. So like we don't really deal with each other or any of that stuff. We might see each other probably like 2 times out of the week, if that much. And he may speak to me, and I feel like I don't have a problem with saying hey, but um in my opinion sometimes I just rather him not say anything to me. And what's happening now, I feel like, because he feels that I've slipped away, because we are on the same property, but we don't stay in the same dwelling. um Hi Makia. Hi Mika. um I feel like now he doesn't, like, the things he do doesn't affect me anymore. And trust me, there's, like, I'm giving y'all the, I have to wait and what I have to do is I have to do it at my own pace, because I'm not like I'm not a vengeful person like that right there, that I can be for sure, but I have fought for a long time in my life not to be a vengeful person. I definitely have had moments in my life where I feel like I want to be vengeful towards the people that have hurt me and stuff like that. But I try not to like let that stuff like get to me, like the things he do. But I'm gonna just try and take my time, and it's just like as it come up, then I'll talk about it as it come up. But it's just like there is so many things that happen to me. It'll be like he'll do something to me, but because I didn't want it to be like conflict. I hate conflict. And so because I didn't want conflict, I can remember one time, without a shadow of a doubt, I know that he did something to me. I just ain't gonna tell you what the thing is that he did to me. And to fix things, I apologized and bought him a rose along with the apology. Of course, I felt so stupid when I did it, but it's what I did, and I'm not ashamed to say that I did it. Um, I like to call things out like that so I can make sure that in life I never, I'll never do that again. But I feel like now what's happening, there was a time when I came back from Georgia. I think the third time that I came back, I came and told y'all that I feel like something was wrong, like my kids was treating me different. And it wasn't like a different like I had done something to my kids. It was like something was being said to them behind my back where um hey Selena, I feel like something was being said to my kids behind my back, almost as if, and now because I don't have the proof of it, but I came on here and I mentioned it to y'all one time, and I said that when I came back from Georgia, and I know how my kids act, and there's not a lot of times that I'm away from them. It's like my kids go wherever I go, but this particular time when I came home, my kids, just let me give you this example. Okay, I went somewhere on a weekend with my cousin one time. And when we came back, my kids was like overexcited that I had came back. They would met me out in the yard, running to the car, open up my door, grabbing on me, hugging me, and kissing me and everything. Cause I'm never away from my kids like that. Okay, so now I done been gone somewhere, and I've been gone for about 3 weeks. I come back, and when I come back, I go inside of the house, and my kids are all standing in different places. Thank you, Selena. I hope the same thing for you, cowgirl. um, my kids are all standing in different places inside of the house, but nobody's coming towards me. Now I'm just telling y'all I was gone for 3 days. Now I've been gone for 3 weeks, and not one of my kids are coming towards me. And I'm just looking at it, and it's like the strangest thing. But the smallest one has tears in her eyes as she's standing there. And I'm just like, I'm so confused at this moment. But because I'm trying not to put this harsh thing onto my husband and say that he's trying to do something to turn the kids against me, I was just like, yeah, Shauna, you going too far with that one right there. But I could not get it out of my mind. So I was so hurt by the response that my kids gave. I didn't know at that point what to do. Do I just go and handle them or whatever and just say, well, come over here and give me a hug? I didn't respond in that way. I just kind of like let it be what it was. I was hurt. So I left from out of the house and I came out to the shed that I'm in right now. And so I was like, and I just sat here, and I thought to myself, it's like that's so hurtful that my kids would treat me like that. But still, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking my kids would never, my kids would never treat me like that. Never have. And so I started thinking, he had to tell them that they not allowed, they couldn't hug me or they couldn't talk to me. I almost felt like this right here, that he told them to say, well, when your mama come here, don't y'all start all of that stuff, y'all jumping all over and hugging all over her and stuff like that. I can like vision him saying that because he mean spirited like that. So the next thing that happens is that my feelings are hurt, so I come out here and I sit out here, and then probably like an hour later he shows up out here, warm, coming to talk to me. And instead of him apologizing, because this is the time when I told y'all that he said to me that I don't do shit around this house, that and at that moment, I had already started replaying everything in my mind. Whenever he would say things to me, I always, what I used to come and tell y'all is that Everything he says to me is the opposite of who I am. So on this day when he tell me I don't do shit, it's like that's a lie. I don't own I don't do no, I don't do shit. I do everything. Every single thing. So when he comes out here, the first thing he gonna say to me is like, I can't believe you left. And I said to him, well, what do you expect? But then what would he expect? After I done stayed around for 27 plus years and I've accepted it all of this time, then why wouldn't he think I'm going to accept the shit that he dishing out this time? You know? So you have to be careful of what you submit to. But then I've been taking shit my whole life ever since the furthest I can remember is 5 years old. So it's what I was used to. So when I asked him, I said, why were the kids treating me like that when I came inside the house? And he said, well, I don't know. I was wondering why they was acting that way too. And I'm here to say on today, I don't care what he say and what nobody else says. I know it's a lie cuz after knowing what I know today, I know that a narcissist will do anything to see you hurt. Anything to see you hurt. Laugh at your pain. I've had all of that happen to me. All of that. And so I'm just waiting on the day because you do know when people try to do stuff like that right there, when you don't have that kind of, like, I don't have that kind of thing inside of me where I would try and turn my kids against their daddy. Not at all. And my kids can definitely vouch for that because it's been some times that I can take and turn my kid into a beast against they daddy. Never have and never will. But now that you give that energy to me, the thing that you thought was going to happen to me is going to be the thing that turns around on you. But I know today, without a shadow of a doubt, and this happened, I think that's almost been a year ago that happened. Me going back and looking at it now, I don't have no question. I know for a fact, even though I don't have all of the, I don't have no details or no nothing like that. I don't got it caught on video, no none of that stuff like that. I know for a fact that he said something to my kids. I know, just looking back at it now, and prior to now, I was just looking for ways of how we gonna fix this, and how is our marriage going to work out. And I'm here to tell you that after all of these years and everything, I have no desire to fix anything. None. No desire. Even right now, as I go through cancer treatment or any of that stuff, I have zero support. Zero support from him. But let him have to go to the hospital, and I'm still gonna stand on this right here, right? Because he's my kid's father and he has done things to take care of us, um and do things. I still see it in my heart that if anything happened to him, like as far as having to go to the hospital and anything, I can still see myself being there for him because that's the kind of person that I am. But do I have any support or anything from him as I'm going through this cancer thing? No. Nope, haven't been to not one doctor's appointment. Um and then if I'm at somebody else's house while going through what I'm going through, he'll have the nerve to call me and tell me that I need to keep in contact. Why I always had this thing is when I was helping with one of my aunties or whatever when she was going through, she had a stroke. And then one of her sisters called her and was like, "Well, why didn't you call me I just don't get it. How can the person that's well, doing well on the outside, still moving around? How could you call the person that's in the hospital and tell them that they need to keep in touch with you? You gonna tell the sick person that they need to keep up with you? You doing well, you a okay, and all that stuff. And I just kind of like look at the phone and I just laugh. And he's like, "What you laughing for? Ain't I been?" Yeah, just ridiculous. Maybe since you were gone so long, they were feeling a bit bitter because you were gone longer than usual. Mika, even though I was gone for the time period that I was gone for, I still was talking to my kids over the phone. I was still talking to them over the phone. Um, and I know that there is certain things. Cause I could just let loose. I could let loose so many things right now, but I just ain't, because I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's just like I'm just trying to talk through whatever it is that I'm talking through, so that it ain't heavy on me at nighttime when I'm trying to lay my head down and go to sleep. Cause my conscience is clear. But as these days go on, I feel like he getting, because I'm good with where I am right now. I don't need this. I don't want this. As a matter of fact, right now, I don't want no man. I don't want no man. But as parents, we still have responsibilities. And what I never teach my kids is to hate someone. But I'm telling you for a fact, I know. I know for a fact that my husband is talking against me to my kids. I know it for a fact. And I don't understand that. I guess he feel like I feel like every person has a threshold. And I felt like I took all that I could take, hoping that things change and be different. And when they never did, I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it anymore. And I guess he thought forever I would be around to be taught crazy too. To go through all of these different rituals that I have to go through in order to be able to go somewhere. Um, in order to do anything. Um, I got tired of the family vacations, going places to have fun with the family, and then he do everything to destroy it. I cannot tell you how many times that we've been to certain places, and with everything in it, he can't stand to see me smiling. He can't stand to see me laughing. He can't stand to see um my family like be around me and show me love. Nothing, none of the things of the sort. And for so long, it's just like I've been trying, just try to um I don't know what you call it, just like be the peacemaker or whatever, and just keep things all together. And it didn't work. Just like I had so much pressure on me that it is all exploded in my face or whatever. So, you know, I don't know. But it's just like all of the different things just last night just fell on me. And it's just like, if something happens to him or whatever, it's just like He get all of the support in the world, but um and I've told him in the past, within the past 2 months or whatever, I told him that I know that you hate me. I know that you do. And what he does is that, um hey Miss Carolyn, um I know that he would, there's things that he would say behind closed doors. But if when other people come around, he does things differently. Like a couple of weeks ago, we having a conversation about some things that's going on with the kids, because now that he can't get up under my skin anymore, I feel like he's saying things to the kids to get to me. And I don't go inside of the house, so it's like he came outside to have a conversation with me about it. But then it's just like everything that you ask him or whatever, it's like a lie about it, or it's hypocrisy. It's like you can do this one thing, but if somebody else do the same thing, then all hell break loose about those. Sorry about that. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. But if you do some of those same things, it's like all hell break loose about it. It's like you know, he can do those things, but nobody else can do them. He can criticize you about everything, and he can do none of those things that he criticized you about. Stuff like that. That right there. But anyways, I'm having this conversation with him about what happened with one of the kids or whatever. And when I know he's lying, I start to raise my voice just a little bit or whatever. And the neighbors are the neighbors have start to come outside of their house or whatever. Not because I'm yelling like that or whatever. I'm raising my voice at him or whatever, but it's not no screaming match or no nothing like that. Then soon as he see the neighbors, he's saying what he want to say to me, right? But as soon as he see the neighbors come outside of their house, then he like, uh let me come down these stairs and come talk to you, because I don't need all these neighbors and stuff. In my mind is like, you can ask my kids. If I do something to you at home, hey ho vibe, if I do something to you at home, we gonna move the same way out in public. I could never stand that. That was something that my mama used to do. My mama used to do things to you behind closed doors, and then she would act like she was your best friend out in public and everything. Me, I don't rock that way with none of my kids. And not saying that I did this, but if I'm the kind of parent that I slap my kid upside the head when we at home, I'm gonna slap your ass upside the head when we go out in public. That's how I roll. I'm not saying to you that that's what I do to my kids. I'm just telling you, however I rock inside of my house, my kids know that's how I rock on the outside. And the only thing they need to do is try me, and they gonna get the same mama that they have on the inside of the house is gonna be the same mama they get out in the streets, in the public, and whatever. I don't switch it up like that. So with that being said, the same way I talk to y'all on here, I tell y'all, you you can come on here any day and I can have the biggest smile on my face, or you can come on here one day and I got the ugliest cry ever, or you can come on here and I be cussing out the world on here. And I let y'all know it be like that on some days. Some days I'm gonna have really good days and I'm gonna have smiles and stuff all the time. But on other days, it just is what it is. I still, my flesh is still on me, and God's still working on me. Um, period. So he gonna say, "Let me come down these stairs and talk to you." You talking out loud, and the neighbors come out, and the first thing came out of my mouth, "Fuck them people." I feel like if you dish it out when you on the inside of the house, come on out here and treat me the same way that you treat me when you behind those closed doors. Don't try to fake it when the people when the neighbors and stuff come out and try and act like you don't be doing all of this crazy. I can't stand none of that. I can't stand it. So I'm irritated. I'm irritated by that. And even the first time on that day when he told me that I don't do shit around the house, I had my phone in my hand. I went live on that day. It's on members only, too. I was on my phone I wasn't on my phone. Hey, kicking it with D. I wasn't on my phone on that day. I had my phone in my hand. And he thought maybe that I was recording him on my phone, which I wasn't. Y'all never see, I never put like my family and stuff like that on here, really like that right there and stuff. And I do that intentionally because people on YouTube and stuff is crazy. So I try not to do that. Every now and then it'll be like a little snippet or something of them on here or whatever, but my page is about me. So he thought I was recording him and how he was talking crazy to me on the phone. On the phone, he thought I was recording. So he's like, so in the midst of him, just imagine somebody going, and you stupid this, and you don't do shit, and you don't do it. And then all of a sudden they pause and be like, you recording me? And just like a switch of, like the flick of a switch, that's how he asked me, was I recording him? And at that moment, I'm thinking to myself, oh, so you care more about what the people on YouTube think than you care about how I feel about how you talk to me and how you treat me. All right, then. So since we gonna do that, then I'm gonna hit the live button and we gonna go all the way live with it. And I'm gonna cuss your ass out like I never have before on YouTube. Yeah, I can't stand that kind of fate. You can give us all of your whatever you gonna give to us behind closed doors, but then when you get around other people, you sitting back just watching everything. So then when we leave from that place, I can't tell you how many times we done went to an Airbnb with the family and everything. I done set up this big old thing only for him to be standing in the corner like a monitor lizard, monitoring everything that's happening. The kids having fun, he don't know how to let the kids have fun with the other kids. He ruined everything, try to destroy every piece of happiness. Like he don't like no laughing, no laughter, no none of that. I grew up in a house with my mama that felt like, that treated you like her house. The house was like a museum. You weren't allowed to touch nothing. If you got a fish tank, you allowed to look at the fish tank, but you can't touch it. You can't get no fingerprints on it. Everything is like house with 3 kids in it. You got white carpet on the floor. Dare us to waste anything on the carpet and no nothing. You know, you can have your nice things, but then you got kids living in the house, and they everything got to be so prim, proper, and straight. Hey, Shakira, everything got to be so prim and proper and straight. You can't live in the house like no nothing. And I feel like at one point he didn't feel like that, but all of a sudden it's like now the kids, they can't live, you can't live in the house, nothing can be lived on. It's like, what is going on here? And I keep on saying to him, like right now in this moment what we living in right now is like, he is a stern reminder, he's a replica of my mama, and I don't like him right now. When I tell, there's a thing that where you can love your parents and you can still not like them. I'm not saying that towards the end, like when my mom passed away, I I didn't have any. Me and her were pretty. We were in a pretty good position. It had been a long time since we had any disagreements or whatever. But when the bad years, okay, just we're gonna say this. Say if my mom passed away when I was 23, right? If my mom passed away when I was 23 years old, and up into the age of up the last bad thing that I can remember was, which is a story that I told you all about on here, is she put my head through a wall when I was 15 years old. 15, and I had been dealing with, okay, let's say from 15, from 5, I got a whooping after I got kidnapped. And 15, I got my head put through a wall. The the bad outweighed the good. And so, hey Adam. Oh my, it's hard to be around a miserable person. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, the daring 50 plus, we attract what hurt us. So, she has been a narcissist my whole life. So guess who I had kids by? Absolutely. Um, but I'm saying I didn't have no issues with her like that when she passed away, but your story is your story and you can't do anything to change it. And if I had any smoke behind it, like I would be screaming and yelling, like going behind it. And that don't mean that one day you might not see me on here, because when a person has trauma, like I do, and I have CPSTD. Let me be saying the words right there. I have post traumatic stress disorder. So there are times that these things sneak up on me, and not necessarily do y'all get to see them. When I first came on here, there is times where I was triggered, and I done came on here screaming and yelling before because somebody trying to tell me how not to go through my situation, but yet they gonna start telling me about a situation that they went through in the same category, but telling me not to talk about mine. And it's just, she added another level to my thing. But um I've had some really rough times and don't necessarily show it on here. And I always tell y'all, I'm not necessarily interested in coming on here and talking to y'all about all of the hurt things. Will I come on here and talk about them? Absolutely, I will. Especially if I'm knowing, like, I got somebody in the chat or something saying something about something that hurt them or what they struggling through or whatever. I don't have no issues. I don't have no issues with coming to talk on it. But is that the thing that, like, I want to come on here and be talking about every day, all day, about whatever? But I also told y'all too, this is life with Tashana over here, and whatever it is that I'm dealing with in life at the time that I'm on here, it is what it is. It's the thing that I'm dealing with. So it's like right now, it's just, I'm on here just running my mouth, trying to clear my mind. So I can walk into this building to a place that I don't want to go and get this chemotherapy and not have to think about that and this at the same damn time. But I just be feeling like, when is enough? Like, when I tell you the bags be heavy, the bags be heavy. I be going through this stuff behind the scenes all the time, but yet and still I come on here and I still try not to let that stuff like knock me off. I try not to let it knock me off. I try not to let it affect my days. I really do. And I just try to come on here and give a smile, because when I'm smiling, I'm not faking no smile or no nothing. I genuinely have a smile because I'm smiling about whatever it is. that I have going on at that time in that moment. I smile because I genuinely like to smile. But yet and still, I still have rough, rough days. And in between, it's like y'all don't even know. It's like ever since about 8:30, I've been saying I'm gonna hit the live button. I'm gonna hit the live button, but I wouldn't hit the live button because it's like this ain't what I this ain't. I don't want to go and talk to these people about any of this. I don't want to. I like when I come on here. I like when I'm smiling. I like when I'm just kicking it with y'all and talking to y'all. Um, but every day just ain't gonna be like that. It just ain't. So I just want yeah, I just want some sort of peace. I just feel like going through what I'm going through, it's like it seemed like in this time because I've tried to, as a wife, give him as much peace as I could. I'm not saying that I was a perfect wife, but I tried to give him as much peace as I could, and I just can't figure out now why in the world do I have to have other stuff, unnecessary stuff added on to what I'm already going through. And I'm pretty sure that I don't have to explain to anybody that been on here watching my YouTube. There ain't been a month. Well, with the exception of there is 2 months that I missed chemo. But even at that time, I can't even say to y'all that it's a month that went by that I have not ended up in the hospital. The videos are here. The different visitations to the hospital are here. Hey, Seneca. It has been a long time. I thought about you and prayed for you the other day. Um, I just think, can I have a time where I don't have to think about what's the next thing you're gonna do, what's the next thing that you're gonna say, what's how many more times you gonna try to make like life is so miserable and everything is about you right now. It's like, and two, I if it could be said, I can say that maybe I've catered to so much BS throughout this relationship. I ain't set it up in a way for him to care about how I feel about anything that I'm going through. Um, yeah, I don't even know. Like, and yet and still, I can still see myself sitting tonight and just still thinking over, because even in this moment, I don't know why with this is tomorrow will be round 7. Tomorrow will be round 7 for me. And I literally feel like I should call a friend or somebody and be like, for this round, can I just come and stay to your house? because I just don't need no extra. I don't need no extra stuff. I don't need the extra stuff. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, I have several people that would be like, if you want me to come and pick you up tonight, I'll even take you to chemo. I definitely have that. But why? Why can't I have peace at home where I live at and pay bills? Why? Why can't I do that? And the only thing, I don't I don't ask for much when I come from chemo, because for one thing, I'm very sick. I don't talk to anybody. For the most part, I don't even come and talk to y'all. If anything, I be done trying to throw together a little video just to let you know, that I'm straight. But for the most part, I end up in the hospital every time. Last 2 weeks, y'all know I was in the hospital. Didn't even make it home from chemo. They called an ambulance on me. And I went straight from chemo to the hospital and stayed there for 5 days. And when I come home from chemo, the only thing I want to do is just sleep. I just want to go to sleep. I just want to have peace. And whatever spirit is going on inside of him, it's just, I can feel it. You know how I tell y'all that I can be in certain places and a person can be next to me. I was in the hospital. And when I was getting ready to leave, they were wheeling me out of my room. And there was a young lady that was in the hall, and she was on a what you call it, a walker. She was using a walker, and it's like me and her eyes locked when they was discharging me from the hospital. And it's like I can feel everything. She even had you can tell that she was going through chemo at the time because her port was accessed. And I feel all of her pain. It was like I was happy that I was going home from the hospital, but it's like when I wheeled past her, like I feel everything. And I'm saying to you all that when I'm here, it's like I can feel the hatred. And I don't care how many times that he say to me that he loved me. I can feel the hate that he have for me. And I feel like he hate to see when I'm smiling. I think he don't understand. How can this bitch be smiling and she got cancer? I don't think he understands. And I think everything he see about me being happy, he hated with every fiber of his being. And I'm trying to understand it. And then I have people that say, well, you gotta fight this. No, I don't. I don't want to have to. At this moment, you name a person that should, in the middle of them going through chemo, that they gotta fight with anybody. Gotta fight with anybody. There's no energy there to fight with anybody. At this moment, I've been saying for 2 years now. I just want peace. I just want peace. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. Um, None of that stuff. I don't. I just. I just want peace. Yeah. I think it irritates him to his soul to see me smile. And to be honest with you all, I have so many things that I can be smiling for, but it's just little places like this right here, little ruts like this that come along, and it's like a little portal, almost like this little portal gets opened up, and then I don't know how to close it. I don't know how to close it. I feel like this is the only way that I know how to do it. It's like, do I want to come on here and tell the whole world? Not exactly, but it's like when I write it in my journal and stuff, it does nothing for me anymore. It doesn't set me free. It doesn't give me anything. It's just like, okay, that was a head. That was a start. That was a start, but you still gonna have a restless night tonight because you ain't released it. You still gonna have a restless night, and I can't even tell you how irritated I am with myself that instead of last night, instead of making a short, I could have chose to hit the live button at 3 a.m. and just go ahead and let it go. But I didn't. I tried to take the easy way and just make a short and just release some of it. And it cost me the whole night. Yeah. And I don't think that just wanting to come home, there's things like right now, like if I feel like if he cared about me, that he would do. And I know that he's intentionally not doing it because he wants things his way. There's certain things that does not allow me to just be able to come home from chemo and just lay down and go to sleep. Yeah. Thank you, Elena. Absolutely. When you go to chemo, all you want to do is just come home. I don't have energy to hold a phone. Any of my family, you can ask them. For the most part, they call me. I'm not answering the phone probably the first 3 days. Um, and it's hard. It's hard for me because I made a commitment. Because usually what I do with YouTube is that when I start going through something, I shut YouTube down and I stop coming on. I stop coming on or whatever. And I sabotage my own self every time. And so I made a commitment to myself that I would post something every single day. But God knows I didn't think that I would be in this position right now. I didn't. This is a surprise to me and a surprise to a whole bunch of other people. That who goes in the hospital and by surprise on Valentine's Day? Yes, I said surprise Valentine's Day to show that you have cancer, pancreatic cancer. Surprise. I didn't think I'd be in this place. So on those days of chemo and after, while I'm in chemo, it's pretty easy for me to record y'all because record for you all in when chemo the first 4 hours is pretty easy. It's when the aggressive therapy starts to flow, that zaps all of the energy from out of you. So at that point, it's like the phone turns from being a pound to now this phone is like 20 pounds. If that's what it feel like to you when you sluggish and all of your energy is gone. So you just try to, I'm telling you, leaving chemo is, I get in the car and I sleep all the way home every time. And if I'm sleeping from chemo to home, from chemo to home, and then I get home, and then there's no peace. Uh, Ian, thank you very much for that suggestion. I already am drinking soursop. I have a soursop tree. I'm a gardener, so I grow. I have a soursop tree that I'm growing, but I thank you for giving that. So, um, just imagine all you want to do is just be able to go to sleep, but there is there's no sleep. You can get sleep, but just know the attacks have went from, I'm saying it to you all without saying it to you all. The attacks have gone from me to now. What's the next best thing that somebody can use when you feel like they don't get to you anymore? It's gotta be something else. Something else, some other way that I can irritate her spirit, that I can irritate her soul, that I can take away her peace. And I try not to let it get the best of me. Really, really, I try. Because I name it the devil just like everything else. I try not to let the devil win. And I always tell y'all, there's there's a part of me that I have an anger. There there's an anger that's on the inside of me from all of the stuff that I've been through in my life. And I can tell y'all that anger welled up in me a couple of weeks ago so bad that I called the police on myself. And y'all y'all don't even have a clue. Can you imagine you in such a rough place and then you cover it up by saying, no, I called the police on them, but no, you actually called the police because you want them to be where you are so that you can calm yourself down and make rational decisions, because you don't need one other thing. You don't need one other thing. And there's a saying that I said to my sister, and my sister hate to hear me say it. And I'll just say to y'all that this thing be so heavy sometimes where I literally know that some of the things that come out of my mouth can literally put a person in a place where they want to end me. And I say it to my sister all the time, that I know that sometimes on the inside of me it's like I'm so angry that I know I can say some things and I will literally make him take me off of this earth. And I hate that I feel that way. I hate that I feel that way. But there's a lot of people around me that know I say a lot of things that I don't be doing what I be talking about. But I know what I'm talking about, if it makes sense. And in this moment, I feel like, girl, go ahead and make a decision for yourself. But it's like everything I do, it always have, every decision that I make, I always have my kids in my thoughts every time. I always think about my kids. I like to be in a place where, like, my kids want to know how I'm doing. There is I want to say one other thing is that it's been said to me that he's even told my kids that they're the reason why I have cancer. I don't understand it. I don't know why. that would be said. And even in this time, for me to be able to say that, it make me feel some kind of way on the inside to expose it and to say it. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that just happened yesterday. I've been holding that inside for a very long time. I've been diagnosed with cancer in February of this year, February 14th. But I've been holding that in for some months now. And yet I come on here and I smile and talk to y'all about everything under the sun, and yet going through all of that. But that's what my life been like. My whole life. And if I could just find that, what's the purpose? And I know people is like, well, you strong for going through all of it. Still, it don't take away the fact that I'm tired of going through so much stuff. And it just seemed like it began heavier and heavier and heavier with each time that something comes along. Um, but what do? I figure it out every single time. I figure it out some kind of way. I get through it to only get to the next thing that's gonna kick me down on the ground, only for me to have to figure out how to get up again. Been all of my life. Yep, I see Shakira. You say Mama couldn't even hold her head up and eat. It's hard. There's been times that I try to make it to the table and sit down and eat, and it's like you laying your head down on the table, and you might try to put some food or something, or sit your head up every now and then, put a bite of food in your mouth, or whatever. And then there's other times when you are absolutely sluggish, you don't have anything left on the inside of you, but because they done pumped you with so many steroids at the time, you actually have an appetite to eat up everything that's in front of you. It is absolutely crazy that you got this appetite out the world. You go to the table, you don't got the energy to hold your head up or no nothing. But you want to eat the food, you eat the food, and then the only thing you want to do is just go and lay down. And then you could either be in a moment where you vomiting everything, or you got diarrhea and it coming out the other end, but then they give you something to stop up your mouth and stop up your butt too at the same time. I'm just not trying to be all out there like that right there, but the truth is the truth. And so you can be there and you can eat and eat and eat, and probably for days and days and days you may not have to use the bathroom or no none of this stuff. It's just always something. It's always something with this. Emily Noble preach, I'm going through the same treatment and all I can do is sleep. Emily, I'm so sorry that you experiencing this situation. But so many people is it because of our food and stuff that we eating that we all going through. Lord, I pray for my dear sister. I ask you to remove the burdens that are weighing her heavy on her heavy heart. I ask you to touch her and keep her in your perfect peace. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Felicia, thank you so much for that prayer. And tenfold to you. And tenfold just means whatever you ask God to do for me, in his son Jesus' name, I asked him to give it back to you 10 times what you asked him for me. Thank you. I'm diagnosed 2 years. It's off the charts. Doctor told him he wouldn't live another 3 months. Today he's healthy as a horse. Well, Ian, that's a great testimony. Thank you for coming through and telling me about it. So I'm gonna definitely stay with my soursop and everything. My numbers were really good and everything. Not having no problems, but it's just every time I go and have chemo, the going trend is I end up in the hospital. Everybody is like rooting this time that I do not end up in the hospital. I don't know if the doctor is going to change something this time when I go in, um, or whatever. Um, I just don't know. He was the one that said that he wanted me to try and stay out of the hospital, but um, lo and behold, it wasn't me that put myself in the hospital. It was the circumstances that was going on at the doctor's office that I had to leave from there and go to the hospital via ambulance. So his nurses was the one that made the call. So I don't know what he gonna have to say this time. So we'll see. Watch what she went through. I want you to have peace and do whatever necessary. It may not be what you want or feel good, but it's for the best for your mental health. Yeah, Shakira. I don't necessarily know what I'm gonna do, and look how late at nighttime it is that I'm even thinking about it. But I tell you, I have some pretty good people that be in my corner. But it's the craziest thing. Why do I have to call these people to be at peace versus where I live at? I heard my mama tell my stepdad I'm gonna leave here before the devil trick me and take you out of here. Yep. Hi, my K. Um, Thank you. Blessings to you too. I have a few choice words to say about him, but I'm going to keep my lips closed. I hope treatment won't be too bumpy tomorrow. Get some rest. Thank you very much. The daring. And it's hey Jashida. um, Thank you, girl. I'm not feeling health wise. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just going through some ups and downs of BS that I shouldn't be having to go through, but you know, it is uh it is what it is. um so I don't know. Tonight, let me just go from where I am right now, just hoping that tonight is just gonna be a different night than it was last night. I don't need no frustrations or no none of that. And then it's so crazy that I even make up the thought in my head. Well, at least if you don't get no sleep tonight because of what you're going through, then you when you go and get chemo, then chemo will make you go to sleep. Like who running the chemo so you can get some sleep? That's stupid. Hey, growing with Hudson. Who's running to chemo to make sure you get some rest? It's sure not what I want to be doing. I just want to naturally get some sleep because that's what the order is. It's like I'm supposed to be able to lay down at nighttime, close my eyes, and get some sleep, and not have to depend on uh this chemo gonna make me sluggish, and then I'll just get my sleep that way. Yeah. So, you know, it's just, it doesn't matter like how and where I move around. It's always the next test is always there, ready to test me. Just ready. And I hate feeling the way that I feel when I came on here tonight. Um, but I'm also say too, um, being that being that I came on, being that I came on here, seeing this is like the thing. What I like about being at home is like I can just be randomly sitting here by myself, and one of my kids is gonna come to that door and look inside that door and make sure that I'm out here okay. I can also tell y'all that when I came home from the hospital last week, my son that get on my nerves sometimes. I done told y'all that he get on my nerves sometimes. I was even shocked that he came over here and was checking on me while I was knocked out asleep. And all at the same time, it was kind of sad because he felt like that during the time when I'm going through chemo that I'm so sick. He literally walked on the inside, and because of the sleep that I was getting, something in his mind told him that I was no longer here with you all. You know what I mean? That I was um not with the living anymore. And he came in, he touched me. And when he touched me on the side, I sat my head up and looked at him. And he kind of was like, oh, he was like, I touched you. He said, things wasn't looking right there for a minute. And I just thought to myself, I was like, God, my kids going through things where they thinking that I done came home and went to sleep, and then I just didn't wake up. Not saying that it couldn't happen or whatever, but it's like it's just another level of just another level of added to all the things that I'm going through. You know, who wants their kid to be thinking along those lines or whatever when they come and check on you or whatever. So yeah, I'm cool. I can be here, don't have to hear nobody yelling. And I'm telling you, if you're a person and if someone's going through chemo, and I don't know if you all is experiencing, but it is not a good feeling to be asleep and then to be woken up by somebody yelling about every little thing in the whole wide world that you can. It's uh it's being woken up with a feeling of anxiety in your stomach, and to be woken up with a feeling of anxiety on your stomach and you're already sick from the chemo, the two of them do not go well together. So yeah, nobody wants that. Or then if they decide that they're gonna come and check on you, they banging on the door like they the police or something like that. All of that stuff has an effect on you or on the person that's going through chemo. So it's just there's so many levels of different things that's going on that yeah, I absolutely just do not need it. Just do not. Um Girl, how my air been out for 3 days. This Arkansas heat ain't no joke. Well, Shakira, imagine, try this Florida heat. This Florida heat is like this. This hurts my heart. You have to start putting you first. Kicking it with D. Trust and believe me. When you come from where I come from, it is a very hard thing to switch it up and start to put you first, cause it feel like you so selfish. It do, especially when you've been answering and catering to and taking care of everybody else. You used to being the one to take care of everybody else, and you ain't used to being taken care of. It's kind of hard to receive that, but that is absolutely what I've been working on for a while now. And so, anything that you working on and changing in your life, it's always gonna be levels to it. It's like you gonna get to this one level where you feel like you got success. But just like in grade school or whatever, there's different levels to it. Maybe right now you feeling like you a kindergartner because you done did your first big thing where you done considered your own self. And then something else come up and you gotta put yourself there first, and it don't feel good. So when I say it's like there's different levels to it, I think what's happening to me is like going through these different levels of these things that are happening to me. And mind you, I've been going through ever since the first time I can remember is age 5. So I've been going through my whole life, and I've been doing everything what everybody else want me to do. I've been doing things for everybody that I didn't even want to do. Taking advantage of everything you can think of. If you can think it and you think it happened to me, 9 times out of 10 it did. So now, even a time in my life with people that took advantage of me and did things to me, it was a point in my life where I was had so much consideration for them. Oh, well, they got a wife and they got a family, they got kids and stuff now. And it went from thinking, oh, they got all of this going on and they happy, you shouldn't interrupt their family or whatever, and their kids, protect the kids, don't. And then it go from that to thinking about maybe they did the same things to their kids and stuff like that. I mean, it's just like a big whirlwind of thoughts. You be going through all of those different thought patterns, thinking about everybody else. And now I don't put me on the back burner because I'm thinking all of this stuff about these people. And then all at the same time, you got this rage over here where you can just do some things to these people or whatever. So, D, I'm telling you, it is a roller coaster ride to have been through some of the things that I've been through and where I am, and then now trying to have consideration for myself. And I think sometimes in a lot of different areas, I don't have no consideration for myself, so I'm in a place where I can't do anything. There's some other situations going on in my life. It's just like I want to jump head first into it and fix it. But I don't have. How can I fix somebody else right now at this time? I have a hard time fixing my own self. I'm having a hard time staying out the hospital. But that's how my mind is constantly thinking all the time. Because I have to be here for you, have to be here for your babies. You don't need anybody that's not willing to help you when you down. You need all the love and all the support. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. I don't disagree with you, D. um they'll think of a lot of things because it's a new experience for them. Yeah. Absolutely, Jacina. Irritating and frustrating. And you won't believe how irritating and frustrating it is. Look, our research ashwagandha. You need something to relax your mind. Yeah. Grow with her. So when you say that, when I first came on here, y'all know I was doing some things to relax my mind. I was doing some things to relax my mind, but I even stopped doing that. Y'all know I was doing a little smoke every now and then, but I walked away from that clean. I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. And I wouldn't just go and say to somebody that you should go and do that, but I'm telling you that it's been It's been about a year and a half for me that I stopped smoking, only to come along and find out later that, and I never smoked to the point of where I feel like that's what gave me cancer or anything like that. No, just you know, but yeah, some things to relax my mind. Now I'm gonna look that up, because actually growing with her, saying you're not the first person that told me. I think the other Tashana told me about ashwagandha too. Um, so I'm gonna read about it. Um, Heat index 110. Lord have mercy. You can go and cook a pot of eggs out there and with that, you can't feel bad about putting you first, because at the end of the day, you got yourself to make happy. You know what I think about when I'm faced with trying to put myself first? I'll go back to when you're on an airplane and they tell you that if anything goes down, it's like to uh, put your air on first and then put your kids' air on first. I feel like in this situation that I am in right now, did I want to do it the way that I did when I left for those 3 weeks and left my kids behind? No, I didn't. But looking back at it now and thinking about it, that if I want to save my kids, the first thing that I do is gotta save myself in this situation first, and then I can save my kids. Cause first I gotta know what to do for myself out of anything. I think if I kept looking at it in a way of because the kids ain't really have anything to do with it. In the beginning, in my opinion, I might have a different opinion tomorrow. I don't know, according to where I am, but um, yeah, I felt like it was me that needed to get out, because I feel like I was being gaslit from every corner. It was just like I could see something happen, and if I questioned what had just happened, I would be told every time I'm trying to say something about X, Y, and Z, or I'm trying to do something with the kids, you got to open your mouth every time. And I was like, but what you just did was wrong. What you just said was wrong. And it would never come down to let's address what was right or wrong. It was always that I need to keep my mouth shut when it come down to that right there, whether it was wrong, right, or indifferent, you know. So um or just telling me that what I saw was not what I saw, or what I heard was not what I heard. And I'm just like, at one point, I just let me tell y'all something. When I say this, I'm coming to y'all way past another time. Cause it done been a time that I done been in the hospital, like having a nervous breakdown, because I keep getting told the opposite of who I am, and it was just like it was driving me so nuts that yeah. Y'all don't let nobody drive y'all nuts. If you think it in your mind that, and it keep being thought of over and over again, that somebody telling you some wrong information, and you know you done been through a lot of stuff in your life, those situations happening to let you know that you are not crazy by a long shot. Get more in tune with yourself, ask yourself questions, and answer them. Answer the question. Ain't nothing wrong with asking yourself a question and answering, because you know you done see, especially when you seen it with your own eyes and you heard it with your own ears. And sometimes it just be that you don't want to see the worst in nobody. That's me. I don't want to see the worst in nobody. I don't, that's not what I go looking for. When I go to see somebody, if I stop by somebody's page, I'm not looking for the worst in them. I'm looking for what good can I pick up over here, or when I'm going around somebody, what good can I pick up from them? And if your worst show up before your good show up, then I'm out of there. Deuces. Um but yeah, I don't go looking for the worst in anybody. So it's just like it's gotta be me. But it ain't a good thing to make it be you that is always the person that's wrong. Yeah. And as when you and I'm telling you, I lived a life like that. It did I was the kind of I grew up with it didn't matter what I did, whether I was doing the right I could be on the straight and narrow. Everything that I did in my mom's eyesight, I was wrong. I was doing it the wrong way. You're stupid. You don't know what you're doing. Uh, you trying to tell me that ain't that? And I sat here and looked at you, and knowing full well she looking at me, and she still didn't see the right thing because I didn't do what she just said that I did. And I would just have to accept that I was wrong, even though I was right. So I think in some kind of ways I carried that into like my adulthood. Um, and I've been with my husband since I was 20, 23, 22, 23 years old. So yeah, I think I walked into it the same way as that, and was like, okay, you can tell me I'm wrong, and I'll just submit to I'm wrong until that doesn't work anymore. And I think what happened to me is it don't work anymore. Growing with Hudson, yes, a grape seed extract, macaque root, um, valerian root. Your old self is not your new self. You have to retrain yourself the way you want to live. It's not easy, but I know you can do it. Yeah, growing with Hudson, that's what I'm going through right now. It's just like trying to get rid of the old stuff, and it's just you get rid of one thing and all. And I'm telling you, what sparked this whole thing was I seen somebody in this say knowing is only half of the battle. Um, and it is knowing is half of the battle. Now what? Now you gotta go on and go through it, and yeah, just knowing what the problem is half of the battle. It's hard, but once you're completely fed up with, and that's exactly where I got to. It, when I left for those 3 weeks, I came back and I tried to go back inside of the house for 3 days. And on the third day, it's just all of the every single thing is like if you living in a house with somebody who nitpick every single thing that everybody does. There's never no good job. It's just they nitpicking everything that you do wrong. You can't ever do anything right. Literally drove me nuts. And I was just like, oh hell no, I can't do this. I really can't do this. And I'm telling you, ever since then, I have not been back inside of that house. That's been almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years now. And so my kids have a choice: be over there or you can be over here with me. A lot of times there's a few of them that come and stay out here with me, and then there's some that want to sleep in their regular bed that they sleep in, that they've been sleeping in, and that's fine with me. um but yeah, it's crazy. It's hard, but once you're completely fed up, it makes it easier to lace your shoes up and go. And kicking it with D, that's actually what is happening. It's get easier and easier to lace my shoes up and keep on moving and not even think about whatever else. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times that I would not talk about it and stuff on here is because giving so much consideration. I give a lot of people consideration that give no consideration to me. And so it's like now when I it's like and I just can't really say that um if a person don't give me consideration, do I have to do the same thing that they do? Even though a person don't give me no consideration, I still have consideration for how they feel or how I'm going to treat them or whatever. It doesn't change the person who I am, but does it make me irritated? Yes. And does it sometimes make me get to a place of where like I'm ready to do what I do? And if you decide that that's what you're going to do to me, and you gonna keep on doing it, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna talk about it to whoever I want to talk to about it. And if you don't like it, then that becomes your business. Is how I feel about it, because I feel it make me feel better to come on and talk to whoever it is that I want to talk to about it, to release it and let it go, which is equates to how I'm feeling right now in the moment that I'm in right now. I feel better than I did when I came than before I came on here to come and talk about this situation and get some relief off of me before chemo in the morning. Well, you can still do that. They actually would really help your nausea. Okay. Yeah, Jashida, I got soursop. I got a soursop tree in my yard. Hey, Shalissa, I got a soursop tree in my yard that I go and pull leaves off of it and boil them and drink the soursop tree. Um, my mom stayed with her husband for 20 years. He was horrible to us, still is. Her staying taught me to be a cheater first before I get hurt. Taught me to be angry until I healed my trauma. Wow. Yeah. For me, it was just like things were happening. Things were happening, and like I'm thinking of some things that's running through my head. We done been in 3 altercations in our entire marriage. And the way that I think about it is definitely wouldn't be a way of if I communicated that to somebody else who came to tell me that they've been in an altercation with their boyfriend. The first thing that I would say to him, go, go. But that's not the choice that I made, and everybody will not make those same decisions based off of where you coming from. Um, yeah, just it's just now that if the younger me knew what I knew right now, yeah, no. And I know I'm probably talking about it like I'm still living in it or whatever. No, we are not together. Haven't been together for 2 years now. Um, and I have no plans, no plans of being. And am I getting a divorce? I don't plan on it, cause I ain't looking for nobody else. All that's going down is saying X, Y, and Z, and my whole thing is I done went through way too much, done been through way too much stuff that ain't nobody gonna be in no line to collect no nothing that I done worked hard for. As long as he ain't trying to be with nobody else and I ain't trying to be with nobody else, we gonna be two lonely MFers together to do whatever it is that you gonna do. The moment you feel like you need to go on down there to them folks and sign some papers or whatever and set yourself free, cool. I ain't holding nobody back for nothing. But I'm not going to sign away no nothing. No nothing. If you catch my drift. It will get to a point my stomach will physically hurt when he's around or even on his way around. Yeah, Shakira. I understand. It caused my relationship problems. Yep, D, I can definitely understand that. I feel like this. I feel like all parents teach you something. Whatever your situation is, you either learn that this is I hate the way this turned out, so let me not move that way. Or I like the way this situation turned out, so let me carry it on into my relationship or my household or whatever. No matter what it is that you're going through, there's something for you to learn from both ways, but it can absolutely mess you up as to where you're actually you actually acting out in those ways that you know was absolutely jacked up and wrong from what you seen because it made you feel the way that you feel. In some kind of way you still end up doing this stuff or whatever. Every time some lie come out, don't let it bother you. Just say out loud for the person to hear, the devil is a lie, or peace be still. It works. Okay, growing with growing with us. So yep. Yeah, the devil is a lie. The devil is a liar. Absolutely. I In the ways that I've been gaslit. I mean, actually, the conversation that came up a couple of times when he told me that I don't do shit around the house or whatever. I keep throwing it every time, like he come at me about something. I say, "Well, then, you the one told me that I don't do shit around the house. I'm so tired of you bringing that up. You bringing that up over and over again. Then gonna tell me that I took it the wrong way." If you say to me that I don't do shit around the house, what other way am I supposed to take that? Then he switched it around and he said that he was talking about the way that I do things with the kids, that I don't never whenever he telling me something that they did, I don't never discipline them or get on them or anything. And I told him, you a damn lie. You lying. You made that shit up while we was sitting here at this table. You made that up. You ain't never said that, because on the other hand, then he tried to tell me about something that, you know what, I was gonna tell y'all something, and I'm not even ashamed about it or whatever, but I'm telling you, it's something that happened like about 10 years ago. My daughter is grown now, but I slapped my daughter. I'm gonna go ahead and tell it. I slapped my daughter about 10 years ago. I slapped her for lying in front of my face about something very serious. I don't even know if it was 10 years ago. It probably been less than 10 years. But she's an adult now. But I slapped her about something that she did, and because I slapped her, he held that over my head and he keep throwing it in my face. But you around here talking this and you around here talking that. You the one around here slapping on the kids or whatever. And I told him, oh, absolutely, I slapped. And I keep saying to him every single time, I slapped her, and if she did the shit that she did again, I will slap her ass again. And I done said it in front of my daughter's face, and she actually is like, yeah, ma, I deserved that slap when I got that slap that time. You ever know, like, one of your kids in front of your face and they just do something, or you find out something that they did and they standing there lying to your face about what they did or didn't do or whatever, and the evidence is right there, and you find the evidence like 2 seconds after they did it, and they continue in the lie. Sometimes you in the line of fire and you might get slapped. But he continuously throws that in my face as if I just go around slapping my kids over and over again. So my response to it is, well, I'm gonna take accountability for what I did and said. Okay, now what you got next? So you can't tell me that I don't discipline the kids ever, but you throw up in my face every chance that you get that I slapped my daughter that one time. But then you say that I don't discipline. That doesn't make sense. That's mean you're gaslighting me. And you keep saying whatever the opposite is about me, then that's what you do. Is tell me I'm the opposite of what I really am. And that's the only thing you can keep bringing up to like try and slam me every single time is saying that I slapped my daughter that one time. Hey Marjorie, all this stuff you going through alone is only showing you that you can do bad all by yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so you know, I don't know. This to me is like I feel like in this situation, give me credit for having kids. Just about all of my kids was on the AB honor roll, A honor roll. I went to school with my kids. I mean, I never get and there's people like Jashida that y'all seen it here in the chat. Jashida knows me for real. Ain't nobody know me and they ain't seen me with my kids or my kids ain't around me. It's like if nothing else don't be known about me, it's like my kids my kids be with me. I'm with my kids. I took care of my kids. I went to school with my kids. All of this kind of stuff right here, but I can never get a compliment and say that's good that you doing X, Y, and Z. Everything is to point out the negative. Child, y'all, Trey Williams want to be seen so bad. And anything you coming over here talking about you need a fat roll inspection, you probably got fat rolls on your own ass that you need to be checking on instead of coming over here trying to ask somebody else about any kind of fat roll or whatever they have on him. But I know you thought you came over here and ate to the gods or whatever. But go somewhere else and find out, you know, something else in some other way that you need because today ain't the day for you. And I done already tapped on Trey with the quickness before I can even finish reading it good. But anyways, sound like me. I had my feelings so crazy. I started recording him because he played crazy. Yeah, sometimes that's what you gotta do, Shakir, record him. I told my mom her husband assaulted me um, when I was young, and she said I was lying. I held that for 18 years. Woo, kicking it with D. I got a similar story, just a similar story like that right there. Um, but it was like my mom was accusing me of trying to break up her relationship or like I was trying to get with her man or something. Um, that was a no. A serious no. And to this day, I still don't like that man. And she dead and gone. Um, no, I don't like him. But that stung me too, as well. Just knowing that she even thought that way about me, it caused me my relationship problem. Um, yep, I will get all this stuff we're going through. I always say if I'm all these things, why are you here? Shakira! Ah, that's the point that I finally got to when I got there. If if I'm all of these things and I do all of these things that you say I do, then why you still with me? Why? Yeah. Why are you still here? Jealousy because everything you did slash poured into your kids he didn't get as a child, or want you to give him because of his own mommy issues. Ooh, Lord, Shakir. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But there is times where I felt like there was like a jealousy because of the things that I did with my kids. Um, the time that I put in with my kids. And to me it was like there was no understanding because he worked and I was home with the kids, which one of the things that I can say I'm grateful for, that I had the opportunity to be able to do that. I was home raising my kids and he went to work, and he didn't understand that that's what I had for me, hanging with my kids. And then when he would come home from work, he had other things that he would do, would be out in the yard hanging out with his friends. He didn't spend a whole lot of time inside of the house with us. And so then when things start to disappear for him and things started to change, it's like he wanted, I kept doing the same thing that I had been doing, pouring into my kids, and then it went from him working to me working. And it's like there was this like jealousy thing that came about, and then it was like he didn't want me to be around the kids or to pour into my kids the way that I poured into them and everything like that, is what I felt. But I also felt I was wrong for feeling that way, back when or whatever. But it is what it is. Um, they always highlight your wrongdoings and get mad when you expose their wrongdoing. Well, that's exactly that's exactly what I got. So, I don't know. I definitely feel different than I did when I first got on here, and I wanted to come on a little bit earlier so that I don't actually stay up so late tonight or whatever. And um, you know, it is what it is. These ain't the kind of things that I want to come on and talk to you all really about. But however it is that I feel at this moment in my life that I need to free myself, I'm going to free myself. That's what I'm going to do. Got to get up early, sis. I pray you find peace, blessings, everyone. Growing with Hudson, same thing to you. I hope you have a good night's sleep. And um, thank you for coming through. I'm not petting no grown. I don't applaud a fish for swimming. That's what they supposed to do. Swim, swim on, swim on. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I feel I feel better in saying what, and even too, like sometimes, like I'm on here, and I know that he watch my lives and stuff sometimes, and I still be having consideration for him. I have consideration for him because he is my kid's father and stuff like that, and I want to show respect to them, but I'm not willing to lie to my kids, even for him. I'm not willing to lie to him. If that's what you put out in the world and those are the things that you're doing, then expect the truth to be told about what it is you. I'm not expecting anybody to be lying for me. Like, if you gonna do your big one, go ahead and do it. My job is just as hard as his. Absolutely. When the kids are sick or whatever, I'm the one up all night. At appointments, conferences, and everything. See, Shakira, that's a whole nother subject right there, because just as well as I don't get any support with what I'm going through right now, I didn't get any support through my whole. We raised 14 children, 14 children together, and only 3 times I can remember that he went to any of those places to support me in them, and that's graduations uh little shows and stuff that the kids or things the kids would participate in, sports. I had sons that played football and everything. I'm talking about any of the games and all of that stuff. Only three things throughout all of this time that he's shown support in. So, and that just is what it is. Okay. Ain't no sugarcoat nothing over here, especially not on no shit. We ain't putting it on there. No. So it just is what it is. Um so you know, it just it is what it is. But y'all, I'm gonna get ready to say goodnight, and then we'll be back on here tomorrow. Y'all know I don't mind y'all asking no questions and saying what you're saying. And I appreciate y'all that, because what I'm going through with my husband, I'm going through with my husband and my family on my own, and I'm sharing it with you all. And yes, you all are able to voice your opinion, but I appreciate the ones that come through and you don't gotta bash him along with me. You can have your opinion about everything, but who knows, unless you know both sides of the story, you can choose to believe what I say. I don't have a reason to come on here and lie to y'all about anything, because I can tell my side, his side, and they side, however it is, or how whichever way that it went, but I appreciate the ones that don't feel like just because she going through that, anything need to be bashed about, anything about him. I'm just having a venting session, and those are ones that want to go ahead and do that. Then that is also your right too, but I appreciate the ones that came through and then feel like that, we got to beat them over the head because of this X, Y, and Z. For one thing that I know, this definitely is learning for me. But I'm like, learning for what? Is like in this part in my life, maybe learning in just different situations or whatever. But for me, it's like I'm not trying to be with nobody else. And just because I say I'm not trying to be with nobody else, don't mean that I'm against marriage. I am a person that is for marriage. I definitely am. If I had to do it all over again in my life, I would never want to raise kids by myself. Never. I'm telling you, flat out, I wouldn't do it. I would do some things differently, but I wouldn't do it different. I would still be glad that I'm married and my kids have a two-parent home or whatever. It was better for me, even though I went through some of the things that I went through. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything else different. Would I encourage somebody else to be married? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. Just make sure they're the right person. And I'm not saying that I married the wrong person. I married the right person because I feel like I said my prayers and everybody, and I gave it up to God to destroy it or not. And he didn't destroy it. So there's some purpose in whatever it is that I went through. I just haven't found the purpose in it, and I'm irritated that I haven't found the purpose in it. Now, when I do find the purpose in it, then my story will change a little bit different, and I'll talk about it in a different way. But this the only way. This what I know. The of how to deal with it right now at this time in my life. And so this is what I'm going to do as I'm going through my process. And until it gets ready to be changed, it is what it is. Hey, hey, you some rest. Relax your mind, hydrate, and eat when you can, and don't rush to get back to us. We will be here. Thank you very much, Shakira. But I will, tomorrow I'll take y'all along a little bit on my journey as I go through chemo or whatever happens there tomorrow. I'll give y'all something. We'll see. But I love you all. Remember to keep growing on the inside and on the outside. Always remember to keep growing. Um, this has been Life with Tashana, where life is like a box of chocolate. Yep, I don't know what kind of chocolate y'all pulled out of that box tonight, but this was a different kind of chocolate. But over here, life is like a box of chocolate. My channel is Life with Shoshana. That's what you're gonna get over here. Some days we out in the garden, some days we going through real things. And Marjorie, I seen you over there today. I definitely read your comment, and I said I know you understood what I said in that little short last night, because you said that you watched it several times over. I knew you understood what I'm saying, because you pull you know what it is, fly girl. But anyways, just know I saw your comment. Um, but over here, we are also known as the high class gardeners, because we be out in the garden. I raise animals and all of that kind of stuff over there. So whatever it is that we doing in life over here, that's what you gonna get over here when you hit this channel. Because every day you don't have the same thing going on in life. So over here, when you hit this channel, you ain't gonna see the same thing going on over and over again in life. But if you want to be a high class gardener, what is a high class gardener? That just means out in the garden, when we growing on the outside, we don't mess around with no bugs, no snakes, no worms, and no frogs. And if you want to become a high class gardener, then just hit that like button and the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, and you can be a high class gardener too. And keep growing. You all have an amazing night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Y'all have an amazing night.